What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Kevin Hart is a really talented comedian. But besides being talented, one thing about Kevin Hart I know, he's one of the most hard-working entertainers in the business. I know that from his previous days, going from Philadelphia to New York City, I think at one point, every day, or at least 3 or 4 times a week. I can't remember how much, but everybody talks about how much he works. And that's a whole different discussion. Is talent alone what's going to get you there? I would tell you no. Hard work and talent. You could even have a good work ethic and no talent and still be successful. But this is what Kevin Hart is. He's a combination of both, just like Michael Jordan, just like Kobe Bryant. All right? And what happens when you're somebody like Kevin Hart, who you rise from a level of obscurity, you're a man that's short or you can't depend on your looks. What happens is that the people that are in your environment, when you didn't have anything, they're your friends. It's easy to be friends when don't none of y'all have shit. You talking about your dreams and all that, but the difference between you and your friends is you're actually living what you talk about. You're not up here talking about ideas like so many African American men do. You're actually doing what you say you're gonna do. And what happens is that people hate producers in Black America to a certain degree, right? Because while racism does exist, and we do live under the system, if you can be a producer, especially coming from a limited environment, it doesn't give the same excuse to the guys that you grew up with. It takes away the excuse from the family that you grew up with, all right, or grew up around. And this is what happened with Kevin Hart, okay? So he started doing well, started developing himself, started making money. And then, of course, the people who he knew, who had maybe not the same amount of talent, but didn't have the work ethic, they started asking him for money. He was young, trying to satisfy everybody, started giving them the money. And guess what? They wouldn't pay it back. Okay? They wouldn't pay it back. And then they would ask for more money. Okay? And then when you don't want to give it to them, then here's the attitude problem. And this is why he stopped by on Charlemagne the God had a show, and he said it's a bad idea to lend your money, your family and friends money. Okay? He said, hey, if you really want to get rid of them, give them the money, they'll never come back. Which I never thought about it like that. And I want to tell Black men something, because you are Kevin Hart in a way. We are all Kevin Hart in a way. What do I mean by that? We're the first people, a lot of times in our family, that have ever come across the middle class barrier. Some of you guys are the first generational middle class because you did it with your work ethic. You come from nothing. And you want to know how you can go back to nothing? Helping out broke friends and family members. People who can't pay it back. Women who can't pay it back. I'm talking about, and especially women now. That should be also in there. Women, if you give them money, you know it's never coming back. So that should be obvious. Okay? A lot of guys can tell their friends and family no, and tell some girls yes, they're never going to give it back to you. If you're going to give some money away, give some money away you don't care about. $10, $20, $30. Okay, fine. But women are never, ever going to get your money back. I don't care what they say. All right? But the reality is that the friends are the ones that break you. Look at MC Hammer. He gave them all that money, tried to develop his community, all these things. Guess what? Once he got broke, all those people left. He said they left. They laughed at him. Now you broke back along with them. Then they're going to be roasting you for being broke back along with them. The reality is that, in Black America, for people who are entitled, you cannot help them. Family and friends, you cannot help them. So the division needs to start as soon as possible. Like, forget being cool until a certain level. No, we need to break this shit off as soon as possible. So you can go ahead and start talking shit about me right now. And I want to shout out to my brother AMS, because we talked about this. He's always criticized me in this way. So Shay, you're a very successful guy, talented guy. He says, man, but your skin isn't thick enough. He said, how you gonna be able to handle money and success if your skin ain't thick? He said, something you gotta work on. And you know what? The brother's right. I want to do a whole video about that just in general, having thick skin. Because see, that's what Kevin Hart has right now. This is what guys like Kevin Samuels have right now. I'm developing it for sure. I'm not quite there yet. But again, I'm just now coming into my own success this year. I'm coming across almost 200,000 subscribers. And it was different here on YouTube when I had only 50. Hell, when I only had 100. Things were different. But now you're starting to see that you're getting more success. People expect more free stuff from you, even on the internet. And for you guys that are really accumulating things in your life, I just want to say this. It's very imperative for African American men who are coming out of poverty, who are coming out of the working class or the lower middle class. The best way to go back to that is to be around the people who you grew up with, because they will always need something, they can never pay it back. They will always have needs, they can never pay it back. And they are too stupid to figure out that they can do it for themselves, but they don't want to do it for themselves. They want you to do it for them. Okay? You will have able-bodied black men. You will have able-bodied people in the community who won't innovate themselves. They won't work on themselves. They won't do anything. Yet they will be mad at people who are actually getting up and putting the hustle in every day, who are actually getting up trying every day. They will have that attitude towards you. And you know what? If you're gonna have the attitude towards me, I might as well keep my goddamn money. And that same thing I'm telling you guys. You might as well keep your money if they're gonna be like that. If they're gonna have a problem, you might as well keep your money. Well, why should you give them anything else if they're gonna have an attitude? They're already gonna talk shit about you whether you give it to them your money or not. Because listen, let me tell you something. You can be giving them the money and they're still gonna be talking about you. They're still gonna be feeling some kind of way. I know it because I've went through that. You can be thinking that everything is cool with somebody, and you're doing things for that person or a favor for that person or for your family member. They still gonna be mad anyway. And then when you find out how they really feel, it's like, oh, okay. So you might as well cut them off right now because they feel that way anyway, most likely. They're mad at you because you're productive, so let them be mad. Get around some people that are like you, that have the same goals. Let those people that are not like you suffer on their own. Everybody does this in any race. Successful people in all communities operate the same. Just because you're black doesn't mean that you have to do anything different. No. All successful people do this around the world. You're not obligated to give money to certain people. You're not obligated to help people who don't want to help themselves. No, you're not. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high.